So Ilka, thank you so much for taking part in this spotlight interview today. It would be great if you could start an introduction to yourself and also of LabConnect.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Christine. So yeah, my name is Ilka Reineman, and I'm now working in the pharmaceutical manufacturing industry for almost 10 years. Actually, I have a financial background, so that gave me the opportunity to be in different part of the industries, and actually my early days of my career. And yeah, having that knowledge about different business models, processes, and best practices are actually still very useful in my daily work. I made the change over to a commercial role 6 years ago, and I'm not regretting that for a day. Actually, now being responsible for activities that really drive the financial result gave me real energy and meaning. And about LabConnect, LabConnect is a trusted partner for helping clients successfully achieve their clinical research trial milestones for more than 20 years. Actually, we bring a quite unique offering to the table. We have two types of services. On one hand, we offer comprehensive central lab services, which serve clinical trials with either a very routine study design or a very complex design. And secondly, we also offer functional service providing solutions, which is actually supporting our clients by serving as an extension of their clinical team. So like that could be coordinating laboratory related needs, advising on strategies for lab data management, or providing end-to-end analytical or logistical solutions. So this is really bringing people on board with the right level of expertise.
So what really attracted you to change from a generic drug background into the laboratory services industry?
Well, after thinking it a bit through, what would be my next move, I came to the conclusion that I really want to stay in the pharmaceutical industry, but I also wanted to learn something new. I've been in generics for 8 years, and I like the industry, but I was also looking for a new challenge on learning something. So stepping into the world of the central lab services really gave me that challenge. It is new to me, and yeah, I have to step up again in learning about this industry. In addition, building a business development team for EMEA completely from scratch is also giving me a great challenge and opportunity. And that in an overall growing environment within LabConnect made for me the picture a perfect fit.
So what do you think's been the biggest challenge for you in making this change?
Well, as I said, I'm still learning about the central lab services. There is a wide variety of testing and having a deeper understanding of the different study protocols for different indications. That will be, I think, a very long journey, but it's a very interesting one. It's just a very enormous wide field of expertise out there. So that for me will be a challenge. Of course, I don't need to know everything in detail, but I want to understand, of course, to be also a good counterpart. And I think in addition to that, another big difference that I noticed between generics and the central lab world is that in generic pharma, you can really build your business development strategy around existing market data. And in innovative pharma, biotech, you really need to have a different approach, finding your way to your customers.
So how do you believe that LabConnect differs from other lab service companies?
Well, getting a drug to the market used to be relatively simple and straightforward. And that's just not the case anymore. So whether we are talking about a treatment for a chronic condition or precision medicine or cell and gene therapy, we have seen a massive uptake in complexity. And I don't want to say that LabConnect can do it all, but looking through the lens of our offerings, we can do almost anything. So we have the expertise, we have the experience, and we have a global infrastructure and partnerships to ensure we can help our clients achieve their objectives faster.
Okay, fantastic. So how has the company's expansion into EMEA progressed?
We are very excited on our strategic alliance with Labor, Dr. Wisplinghoff. They are located in Cologne, Germany, and we have announced this strategic alliance a few months ago. Wisplinghoff is established over 45 years and is one of the largest independent private medical laboratories in Europe. and they can provide really access to high quality of scientific support and innovative lab testing. And in addition to the strategic partnership, we have also announced the opening of a facility of LabConnect in the Netherlands, where we will do our clinical kit building and biorepository storage. So this is really our own brick and mortar, which we are very proud of. So these are really important milestones to complete the build-up of the infrastructure to support European studies really out of Europe. And as the company is growing, of course, we are also building the EMEA team with the right skills to support this growth. It's worth mentioning that as we are spending and building out our global team, we have a global talent acquisition team that leads the staffing efforts. And at times they may partner with selected external firms specialized roles, like we did now for the business development team in Europe. Yeah, so we have set up the team in the more or less in the key life science areas in Europe. The team is a very good mix in terms of level of experience, and they all have their individual talents and capabilities. But very clearly they are complementary, and that will create a very strong team where we can, as a team, also discuss and find the best solutions for our clients. And yeah, with some of them having deeper understanding of central lab services and others maybe a bit more in biotech, but not so much in central lab services or in the CRO business. I think we have a good angle that we understand our clients. Looking at what our offering is to our customers, as I said, LabConnect has a solution to make it easier for them to achieve their clinical trials objectives faster. And we have 4 cornerstones how we do that. On one hand, we can perform lab kit production. So we make custom kits for sample collection, and that can save time and reduce errors. And as I said, we can do that out of the Netherlands, but we can also do that out of the US. Secondly, we perform sample management that covers logistics, real-time tracking of samples, and the biorepository storage, which is really reducing time from collection to the analysis of the samples. And then thirdly, lab samples, which is large testing menus that we are offering for both routine and safety testing, but also for very specialized testing using our network globally. And last, data management, because of course for the clinical trials, most important things are collecting the results and being able to present those results to authorities, include them in dossiers. So we offer a unified data set, we standardize it, we normalize it, we harmonize it, so that the clients will get one set of data that they can use for their regulatory purposes.
So how has this year been for you so far, and what does the rest of 2023 look like?
Yeah, so for me specifically, I'm quite happy that the business development team for EMEA is now there. Yeah. According to plan, we have all functions now filled, positions filled. Team is also fully onboarded. So the second half year will be more about going out there, being in the marketplace, create brand awareness, and explain our offering. So the LabConnect offering to the European-based companies. Yeah, and of course, kick off the business, get the deals in. From a global perspective, it's really about growing. It's a year of building and growing, and I think one thing is really important, that is the strategic alliance that we have now with the lab of Dr. Wisminghoff in Germany. But also recently we have announced another strategic alliance with the Cleveland Clinical laboratories based in Ohio, USA.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and this is really already a very renowned name in the clinical trials. So with that strategic alliance, we also will leverage heavily on their extensive array of testing system, and also the assay validation services that they can offer. Yeah, so to support the laboratory testing and even for our increasing number of clinical trials. So this will help further accelerate clinical trials to connect the patients to the medicines for improved patient care.
Perfect. And do you have, you mentioned before that you might have some conferences coming up. So
yeah. Yeah.
What kind of conferences do you have? Anything for planned this year?
Yeah, so we will be on the exhibition on the Clinical Trials Conference Europe, which is later in the year in November in Barcelona. There are also a few conferences that are called the Outsourced Clinical Trials Conferences. There's a few dedicated to certain regions like DACH, UK, Ireland, but also oncology, where we will be present. And CPHI later this year in Barcelona, we will also have a presence.
Great. Couple of trips to Barcelona then.
Indeed, I hope the weather will be nice.
Oh, yes. So what do you see the key challenges being for the company moving forwards?
Yeah, so I think most people are not realizing that we are already around over 20 years. So specifically when I mentioned LabConnect in Europe, so we are more or less a well-kept secret and not everybody will know us. So I think a key challenge for us is really to grow the awareness about LabConnect in the region. And really to open the doors for the opportunities to work with us, with new clients. I think to realize this one is that we are already acting and supporting trials across the globe. The only thing is that we are just not tapping in yet too much into the European marketplace, and there we have a challenge.
So what would you say LabConnect and your long-term business goals are?
Yeah, so as I said, there's a lot of ground to cover still. I have now some people on the ground in Europe, but I think our full responsibility is the EMEA region. So we will first get started in Europe, but then we will for sure focus also more on the Middle East and Africa region. We know that there are so many companies, the number of pharma and biotechs in EMEA is enormous, if you would also compare that with the US. So we have a lot of ground to cover. And in our offering, we will just continue to deliver an end-to-end quality experience towards our customers. That could be pharmaceutical companies, biotech, but also CROs. So all with the aim to support them in their clinical trials journey. We have a huge opportunity to connect new clients to the experience and the expertise that we can offer. And I also, via our business model, we can offer clients access to really top scientists and clinicians in the world to help them to develop their scientific strategy and optimize their study protocols. And as LabConnect, our mission is to create a healthier communities by accelerating the development of new medicines for patients around the world.